Hi folks, it's Todd with Survival Sherpa. It's been a while since I made a video. I think the last one was I was doing something at school with my kids. But today I wanted to talk to you about four items that a good buddy of mine, Sean Blanchard, gave me. He's part of the Georgia Bushcraft group, and we just had our Georgia fall camp out with the Georgia Bushcraft folks, and he caught me as I was leaving and said, "Here, I want you to try these things out." Let me give you the idea of what we got. We got a piece of sodal, we've got some oakum, and we've got, this is called, I believe it's pronounced, it's spelled K-A-P-O-K. Anyway, I think it's pronounced kapok. Anyway, it is a fiber of a seed pod on a tree that grows in rainforests and in those kinds of climates. Then the oakum I've already mentioned, but then we've got, he gave me a little bag of what is called Maya dust. This is what I found with just briefly experimenting with this stuff. This kapok, or whatever it's called, is a very fine fibery material. It's a seed pod off of a tree, and this stuff, according to what Sean sent me some info on it, said that this was actually used for life preservers before synthetic material, and it's very buoyant, it'll float, so as you can imagine that stuff's going to go up in no time. Now, so I'm going to fluff it up just a bit, give it a little whirl with the ferro rod and see how it does, or show you how it does. I've already seen it. So there it goes, it's gone. So you can imagine something like that as a flash tinder. It will work very well. Now the next item I wanted to show you was the oakum. The oakum, which I'm very familiar with. My dad was a plumber, and back when I was growing up, we still did cast iron work, repair work mostly. And this is, I believe, jute twine that would be used for oakum. Let me pull it out and show you what it kind of looks like. It's just stuff that has been spread apart, you know, into single fibers and then wrapped back together. So it kind of looks like dreadlocks. And so I'm going to take a piece of this and show you how it burns. It is basically a, fluff it up a bit, it's basically a jute twine. I think after I did my first test on this earlier, I think putting some wax on it, which is what I use for jute twine, maybe dipping one of these in wax, something like that, a piece like that, put it in your kit. That would be a waterproof fire tinder bundle right there. Just soak that in wax, and I'm telling you, it would burn for a long time. I'll have to experiment with that as well. So if you're familiar at all with jute twines, natural fiber, and there it goes, nothing to it. But it's not going to burn very long. It's not going to burn long, just because there's no wax or anything like that on there. So, but it will take a spark really easily. And as you can see, it's still burning a little bit. But if you wax this stuff, I'm telling you, it will burn for several minutes. I've heard of Maya dust before, and I thought, wow, that's going to be cool to try this stuff. Let me show you what I came up with. Just going to pour a little bit of it out, see if we can get it to take with a ferro rod. Now my first attempt, it took several strikes with spark ignition to get this stuff to go. So I was not impressed. So now we've got a little bit of a flame here. We could maybe fluff it up somehow and get another one, but it would not be my go-to fire starter. So let's this right here is supposedly 80% resin. from a fat pine tree down in, where's it from? Guatemala, Mexico, those areas. And it burns, but it doesn't take a spark near as fast or as quickly as my favorite, which is Georgia Fatwood. So I'm going to scrape a pile of this up and just give you a quick demo. You saw how many strikes it took there. For this one, we're just going to rake us off a little bit here. Okay, we'll pile that up. We'll see how fast this goes. In my experience, unless this is just a bad piece of fat pine, it's going to go up in 1, maybe 2 strikes, okay? There it goes. Now that's Georgia Fatwood. I prefer this over any Maya dust for sure. So this is just Georgia Fatwood. Scrape it with the spine of your knife or something sharp just to get some shavings on it, and you got fire. Alright guys, so today with these 3 exotic, I guess you could call them, exotic tinders, I do like this stuff here. What is it? Kapok. I do like it as a flash tinder, and works really well for that. It's not going to burn long. The Oakum, which I believe it looks just like jute twine, so that's a good source of tinder. This particular tinder, the Maya dust, I don't see the draw for this. It's hard to beat just a piece of good old Georgia fat lighter, and I can shave dust off of that with the back of my knife in no time and have a fire going with 1 strike. So I'm not crazy about this. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't use it, but that's just me. If that's all I had, then yeah, it would work. Now the sodal rod, piece of shaft off a sodal plant, we will give that another shot at some point. But for now, this hand drill that we just tried on this piece here, as I said, it's a little deteriorated inside, a little too punky, so my spindle's going right through it. So we'll give this a shot. But anyway guys, thanks for joining me today, and just to look at some stuff that I've never tried to light a fire with. It's always good to practice and try new things. But for me, I'm going to stick with the old fat lighter, okay? So you guys have a great one, and thanks for watching, and keep doing the stuff for self-reliance. Catch you on the next one.